Good Wednesday morning, everyone. I'm WSAZ's Kimberly Kagi. Thanks for joining us here for WSAZ Plus. We are getting brand new information into our newsroom this morning after a sentencing was handed down for the mother convicted in her child's death. So we are going to pull up some information and some details so we can talk about it. This is the mother. This is Julie Miller. She was sentenced to 15 years to the remainder of natural life in the case of the death of her 14-year-old daughter, Kennedy Miller. Now, Julie Miller received her sentence on Wednesday. This all happening in Boone County Circuit Court. And now, if Miller is later deemed eligible for parole, the judge ruled it will be 50 years of supervision. Miller was the mother of Kennedy Miller, and she pled guilty in November to death of a child by parent, guardian, or custodian. At the sentencing, the judge said that she had seen photographs of the victims, and the details are beyond her comprehension. Deputies found Kennedy Miller in a skeletal state back in 2024, and a family member who didn't want to be identified at the hearing saying that Kennedy was her best friend and she can't convey how painful this was. So today was Julie Miller's sentencing, and so when the investigation happened, deputies say the teen, Kennedy Miller, had not received any medical treatment in at least 4 years. And so Kennedy Miller's grandparents, Jerry Stone and Donna Stone, also arrested in this case and are facing charges. Now, a criminal investigation uncovered that the teen had not attended school since late 2019, early 2020, and that the teen, Kennedy Miller, had not been outside the house for roughly 2 times as we are in 4 years. And so let's go ahead and take a listen, though, from the judge as she had some strong words today when she handed down that sentence.
She has pled to maliciously and intentionally inflicting upon a child under her care substantial pain, illness, or any impairment of physical condition by other than accidental means. She has pled to intentionality. She has said in her plea to this court that her actions were intentional. That's the crime that she pled guilty to. And at some point, non-action shifts from innocent, non-intentional, non-action to intention to not act. This child deserved better. This child deserved a mother who provided, at the bare minimum, enough food that her body didn't eat itself. This child deserved, at a bare minimum, a mother who, when the child was too weak to get up off the floor, sought medical care for her. At some point, inaction becomes intentional non-action. That is exactly what happened here. This is what the defendant has pled to. And Kennedy deserved better. And because of that, I'm sentencing her to the indeterminate term of 15 years to the remainder of her natural life in the custody of the Division of Corrections and Rehabilitation. If she is granted a parole after the 15-year term, she shall be placed on a term of 50 years of supervised release with this court. There are no words that I am capable of expressing adequately to convey my sorrow for this circumstance and the situation and the loss of this child who did not deserve what happened to her. And I'm very, very sorry. Your objections are preserved to this court's ruling. The defendant is remanded.
All right, so that was the judge handing down the sentence for Julie Miller. She was sentenced in her daughter's death today. This all happening in Boone County Circuit Court. Now, also in this case in particular, Kennedy Miller's grandmother, Donna Stone, is set to go to trial likely next month for child neglect resulting in death. Her grandfather, Jerry Stone, was also found incompetent to stand trial. So there are still many developments in those cases, all three facing charges, but Julie Miller sentenced today. So that is a story that we are following. You heard from the judge. We also know that Julie Miller addressed the court, and so we will have her remarks later on in our early evening newscast. Thanks for joining us here for an update on this story.